Shalom, shalom. This week we have a double portion, Tazria, Metzora. And in it we are informed about a person who gets sarat, which is a physical ailment of the skin, which we know as most commonly, we're told, being caused because of someone who speaks out against their fellow. And then it's this spiritual affliction that physically manifests, and he has to go to the Kohen has to determine whether it is sarat, and if it is, he has to go into a mini exile for at least 7 days until the Kohen rechecks him and sees if he is capable of being reintegrated in society or not. Now, I want to talk about this because this is such a huge problem that we have that is so exceedingly harmful that it has changed the course of Jewish history for all time until today. And it begins, if you go back in the Chumash, you go back to Parshat Vayeshev, when we hear about Eila Toldo Yaakov, we're about to be given the story of Yaakov's sojournings and what happens to him from then on. And we know the stories that go on about Yosef going to his brothers and them throwing into pit, and then he goes down to Mitzrayim. And this is the beginning of our exile, the first time that we go into exile. The Parsha opens up by telling us in the first couple of Pesukim that Yosef brought dibatam ra'ah, he brought these evil words, evil speech back about his brothers to his father. Now, this was the beginning. We're told this, it seems, in isolation, and it goes on to say how Yaakov loved Yosef so much. He was Ben Zakunim, he was the son of his old age, and he made him the ketonet pasim, the coat, the special coat that he made for Yosef. And then it goes on with the narrative where we're told the story when he goes to check on the brothers, and the rest is history, like I said, which led to the exile. And this is very crucial because it's the first time we hear about dibatam ra, the evil speech. And we're not told by the Mefarshim, by the commentaries, that he made anything up or he was lying. He said things that were happening. But this is how careful we have to be with speech, because there was a different way things could have unfolded. And just speaking without thinking of, am I doing this for the right reason? Am I doing this in the best way? Is this going to be what's going to help my brothers improve or be good for my father to hear? Or all these things which are so easy to overlook when we just speak without thinking really carefully first. And I believe this is what led to the progression of events. And because, look, anything could happen at any time, and whether people's plans come into fruition or not, it happens for a reason. And we have to be super careful. And Yosef was put into isolation for so long. He was sent alone down in the wagon, and he was in prison. He was just alone for such a long time. And this was the exile that led him down to Egypt, which led his brothers down to Egypt, which has kept us in, more or less exile since the beginning, because we have not learned our lesson, and because we speak too quickly without thinking about, is what I'm saying, not only is it true, but is it harmful? Can it be, if I have good intentions, can it be accomplished in a better way without speaking in a way that's harmful? And we don't do that. And it's really upsetting, because today people think erroneously, maybe some people, not everybody, that we're out of exile because we got back the land of Israel, the Jewish people. But it's not true. We are still in Galut. We are still in exile. We are still suffering. And you can just flick on the news and see any 120 reasons why we're still suffering. And just because we're sitting in our land doesn't mean we're not in exile. And the cause of our exile is because of our evil speech. We have to be careful. Even if we believe someone's doing something wrong, what's the best way to go about it? not to just wantonly go on slandering and spewing hateful speech all over the place. This is what's causing our problems. Yes, Hamas is evil, and yes, there's this problem, that problem, the other thing, but those are offshoots. Those are just tangentially, related to how our ailment is unfolding. But we're the cause. We have to be careful. We have to be better. We have to speak better. Our speech creates. God created this world with speech. We create our reality with our speech. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to watch, and we have to do the best we can. And that will lead us to our ultimate redemption, to a good life, to a peaceful life, to the life that we want to be living. Shabbat Shalom.